Hey guys, welcome to my reading corner. My goal is to provide informational videos that are fun and succinct to help people think about books and movies. So in my experience, I'll read a very good book or movie and then I'll have a lot of thoughts about it and want to kind of process my thoughts and want to consume more commentary on it, but there's very little analytical content out there, especially on YouTube. So I'm hoping to help fill that gap for providing entertaining and substantive commentary on books and films in 15 minutes or less. First, I'm going to be looking at Solaris, a science fiction novel originally published in 1961 by Polish author Stanislaw Lem. My first introduction to Solaris was actually the 1972 film adaptation by Andrei Tarkovsky. I slept through the first, long while of the film, but I remember being amazed by the beauty of the imagery and the weight of the concept. Several other film adaptations have been made, including one in 2002 directed by Steven Soderbergh and starring George Clooney. I'm going to briefly summarize the plot, so if you've recently read the book and don't want to hear it again, you can skip to the themes and key takeaways segment of the video. The plot follows Dr. Chris Kelvin, a psychologist who is sent to the station on Solaris to examine the death of his former colleague Dr. Barbarian, who he happened to be pretty close with. The planet is as much of a character in the film as anyone else. It is essentially a large ocean with strange currents, growths, and activities that make scientists hypothesize it is an intelligent being rather than just a body of water. Immediately upon arrival, Dr. Kelvin gets a lot of weird vibes. There are two other crew members on the station referred to by their last name, Snow and Sartorius. Snow is the leader of the station at Solaris and Kelvin meets with him first. In their initial conversation, Snow hints at strange happenings around the station, but does not directly tell Kelvin what is going on. Sartorius, for his part, won't let Kelvin into the laboratory, but eventually emerges into the hallway to meet with him. There, is a little bit of a mad scientist thing going on here. Kelvin begins to get an understanding of the happenings on the ship when he thinks he sees a black woman walking in the hall. He is shortly visited by his dead wife, Rhea, upon waking, and soon discovers that the other crew members have their visitors as well. Kelvin actually has two visitors. The first time that Rhea comes, he launches her into orbit in a space capsule. Then she appears again the next day at the edge of his bed when he wakes up. The rest of the plot is dominated by Snow and Sartorius performing experiments to try and get rid of the visitors. Kelvin himself does not seem to want to get rid of Rhea. He's a little conflicted about this. He knows that she is not the real Rhea, but he is still in love with her. Eventually, Sartorius manages to create a device that evaporates the visitors, but the reader is still left curious about the nature of the planet and the visitors. So what is it about? Two things stick out to me. One, the feeling of being stuck in a foreign place. Although Kelvin can leave the station at any time, you get the sense that he is so drawn to Solaris that he can't leave. Everything about Solaris is foreign to us. There are a ton of theories about the nature of the ocean and whether humans can actually communicate with it, but ultimately it is a giant mystery. It's far from Earth, and in the way it's described, quite different from anything we are familiar with. 2. The question, what makes us human? Rhea has blood indistinguishable from Kelvin's. He actually does a test to prove this. She has human form, and at least initially, she is unaware that her memories are not her own, and she was not born of humans. Everyone who reads the book is faced with the question, what makes us human? And even to ask, is it possible to love a planet? There are a lot of fascinating quotes that I think I could share from this book, but one in particular I think really hits on what Lem might have been trying to say with this novel. In this situation, Snow is talking to Calvin just after he has received his first visitor, and he says, quote, "We need mirrors. We don't know what to do with other worlds. A single world, our own, suffices for us, but we can't accept it for what it is. We're searching for an ideal image of our own world. We go in quest of a planet, of a civilization superior to our own, but developed on the basis of a prototype of our own primeval past." End quote. Humans want desperately to communicate with Solaris, but the only communication it provides is a reflection of their own lives. In a sense, this is what they were looking for all along because they could not understand the normal patterns in language native to Solaris. Overall, I give Solaris a 4-star rating on a 5-star scale, or an 85 on a scale of 0 to 100. It is worth reading for anyone who is interested in science fiction, which I really think should be all of us, and I would definitely recommend the 1972 film adaptation as well. Now, you guys know what it's like. Drop a like and hit subscribe to see more of this content. Um, I'm just starting out, so it would be really helpful to get this going and also to give me some positive feedback on it. If you want to see another book or have a specific idea, please put a comment on what book you would like to see next. And my social media accounts I'm going to link to below, so you can go follow me there. Thanks, guys.